The Texas Department of Transportation Waco District and the City of Killeen would like to welcome you to this virtual public meeting that is being held concurrently with an in-person open house. This presentation will provide information on the proposed Rancier Avenue Improvements Project. This is a pre-recorded presentation. My name is Matt, and I am part of the project team. I would like to thank you for participating in this public meeting. During the virtual presentation, you may pause the video and navigate forward or backward using your video player. If you have any technical difficulties accessing the public meeting information, need special accommodations, or speak a language other than English and have interpretation needs, please contact Matt Darcy at 737-443-0464. Details on how to submit comments will be provided further in the presentation. The virtual public meeting is being held in conjunction with an in-person open house. The open house will be held on Thursday, March 21st, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Killeen Elementary School at 1608 East Rancier Avenue, Killeen, Texas 76541. The virtual public meeting will be available during the comment period until April 5th, 2024. The information presented in the virtual public meeting and the in-person option is identical, and the opportunities to comment do not differ. The purpose of this public meeting is to provide an opportunity for the community to review and provide feedback on the proposed improvements. This meeting also offers an opportunity for the project team to address any of your questions or concerns. TxDOT and the City of Killeen commit to involve the public with project planning and implementation by providing for early, continuous, transparent, and effective access to information and the decision-making processes. TxDOT and the City of Killeen would like you to join the process through your participation and learn why improvements to Rancier Avenue are being considered, understand what is being proposed, engage by providing feedback on the proposed project, and comment. By commenting, you help steer the decision-making process. I will review the agenda and describe how this meeting was advertised. Then I will provide an overview of the project, discuss background information, and explain the need for and purpose of the project, followed by a detailed discussion of the proposed improvements. The environmental analysis, next steps, and funding information will be provided following the discussion of the engineering aspects of the project. Toward the end of this presentation, there are instructions on how to submit written comments as well as instructions on how to contact the project team. In preparation for this public meeting, informative flyers were hand-delivered to local businesses in the vicinity of the project location the week of January 22nd, 2024. The public meeting was announced at a City of Killeen City Council workshop on March 5th. A notice was published in English on the TxDOT webpage on March 6th. Potentially affected property owners were notified of this public meeting by mail on March 13th. Notices were also published in English in the Killeen Daily Herald on March 15th. In addition, links giving the meeting information and notices were posted on the City of Killeen's various social media platforms prior to the public meeting. In this part of the presentation, we will discuss the project in general and learn why these improvements are being considered. The proposed Rancier Avenue Improvements Project is located within the City of Killeen, Bell County, Texas. The project would extend for a total of 2.5 miles along Rancier Avenue from Fort Hood Street to 38th Street. The proposed improvements include construction of medians, turn lanes, and reduced through lanes, bike lanes, on-street parking, and continuous sidewalks along the length of Rancier Avenue. Landscaping is proposed to be completed along Rancier Avenue and within planned medians. Utilities are proposed to be relocated under sidewalks and roadways. The estimated cost of the proposed project is approximately $66.6 million, which would be funded with a combination of federal and local funds. The City of Killeen is actively pursuing additional funding opportunities. The proposed Rancier Avenue Improvements Project is needed because in the past 50 years, Rancier Avenue has seen a significant increase in vehicular and pedestrian accidents, a decrease in property values along the roadway, and a decline in economic viability in the area. The overall purpose of the project is to reduce through lanes, provide safer and more accessible facilities for pedestrian and cyclists meeting ADA standards, and increase the economic value of the area. In this part of the presentation, we will introduce the proposed improvements so that you can become familiar with what actions are being considered and provide informed feedback. Rancier Avenue can be separated into distinct zones. These zones are simply based on the context of the existing uses and are subject to changes. This slide illustrates the limits of each zone. The post-transition zone covers the limits east of Fort Hood Street to west of Root Avenue for approximately 0.57 miles. The urban zone covers the limits east of Root Avenue to west of 14th Street for approximately 0.47 miles. The city transition zone begins east of 14th Street to west of W.S. Young Drive for approximately 0.85 miles. The Greenway zone begins east of W.S. Young Drive to west of 38th Street for approximately 0.64 miles. Let's take each zone one at a time. The different configurations of these zones are illustrated using typical sections, which are cross-sections of how the roadway looks today or would look with the proposed improvements. Today, Rancier Avenue has 4 11-foot wide lanes, 2 in each direction, and discontinuous sidewalks. The proposed post-transition zone shown here would have 2 11-foot wide travel lanes, 1 in each direction, with an 11-foot wide turn lane or raised median with landscaping, 2 5.5-foot wide bike lanes, 1 in each direction, and 8-foot wide parallel parking lanes, 6.5-foot wide landscaping buffers, and sidewalks varying in width from 8 to 10 feet wide on each side of Rancier Avenue. The proposed urban zone would have 2 11-foot wide travel lanes, 1 in each direction, with an 11-foot wide raised median with landscaping, 2 5.5-foot wide bike lanes, 1 in each direction, and 14.5-foot wide landscaping buffers, and sidewalks varying in width from 8 to 10 feet wide on each side of Rancier Avenue. The proposed city transition zone shown here would have 2 11-foot wide travel lanes, 1 in each direction, with a 14-foot wide turn lane, 2 5.5-foot wide bike lanes, 1 in each direction, and 6.5-foot wide landscaping buffers and sidewalks varying in width from 6 to 8 feet wide on each side of Rancier Avenue. The proposed Greenway zone would have 2 11-foot wide travel lanes, 1 in each direction, with a 14-foot wide turn lane, 2 5.5-foot wide bike lanes, 1 in each direction, and 6.5-foot wide landscaping buffers and sidewalks varying in width from 8 to 10 feet wide on each side of Rancier Avenue. The proposed project would require the acquisition of approximately 2 to 17 feet of right-of-way along the north and south sides of Rancier Avenue, resulting in a new right-of-way width of 70 to 93 feet. As currently designed, the project would require approximately 2.7 acres of additional right-of-way and would result in 121 partial acquisitions of adjacent property but no displacements. The proposed right-of-way line can be viewed on the layouts at the open house meeting or online at the webpage listed later in the presentation. This project is receiving federal funds, and because of the federal component, TxDOT is required to assess the potential environmental effects of the proposed project in accordance with federal standards. The process that is followed is called the National Environmental Policy Act process, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides analyses of the potential impacts to the natural and man-made environment and helps the decision maker to make an informed decision on whether or not to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the FHWA for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. This review and approval process applies to this project. The project team is identifying and evaluating potential environmental constraints that occur within the project area. Areas that are under review include community impacts, biological resources, historic resources, traffic noise, archaeological resources, environmental justice, water resources, and hazardous materials. The project would be designed to avoid or minimize impacts to the greatest amount practicable. Once completed, technical reports documenting the analysis and the conclusions of these studies will be available for review upon request. This slide shows a map of known environmental constraints requiring consideration for the project. This map includes the name and location of environmental constraints, including schools, parks, named waterways, historic markers, and cemeteries. Site visits have been completed to assess the project area. Collected data is incorporated into the technical reports as noted in the previous slide. The proposed project would be funded with a combination of federal and local funds for a total of approximately $66.6 million. The City of Killeen is currently assessing other funding opportunities. We want to highlight the estimated project timeline. After the comment period closes, the project team will review the comments received, make appropriate design changes, and prepare official public meeting documentation. Public meeting documentation will be posted to the project meeting webpage after the close of the comment period. TxDOT encourages you to review the materials regarding the proposed project and provide feedback. You may submit comments in the following ways. Email the comment card to mdarcy@bgeinc.com or mail the comment card to BGE Inc., Attention Matt Darcy, 101 West Louisiana Boulevard, Suite 400, Austin, Texas, 78728. You can download the comment card from the project webpage at www.txdot.gov/projects/hearings-meetings.html. You may also visit the online mapper at tinyurl.com/rancieravfeedback and submit comments there. Written comments received during the comment period will be included in the public meeting documentation that will be posted on the project webpage when completed. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions and feel free to reach out to Matt Darcy by phone at 737-443-0464 or email at mdarcy@bgeinc.com with any questions or comments at any time during the project development process. Thank you for participating in this public meeting. Please remember to comment by April 5th, 2024 to ensure your voice is heard and to be included in the official public meeting documentation.